This hangout on air is live. Hello, everyone. Do we have anybody watching us?
Hi, guys.
I don't know. I gotta check the chat room.
Yeah. Chitango. Okay. Well, we are about to record episode 226 of Catholic Weekend with special guest Tom Pringle. So, are you ready to start?
We have 11 people. Wow.
Let it happen, Captain.
Sweet. Let's go.
This is SQPN, the StarQuest Production Network, leading the way.
You're listening to Catholic Weekend, episode number 226 for the week ending Saturday, June 7th, 2014. Can you believe it's June? Wow. Hello, I am Jeff Nielsen, also known as Captain Jeff in Roswell, Georgia, and joining me today, Maria Johnson, Conyers, Georgia.
Hello. Good morning, everyone.
Hello. And also, joining us from the plains of Oklahoma, Steve Nelson.
Howdy, everybody. It's good to be here once again. Ready to talk to you.
And in San Antonio, deep in the heart of Texas, we have Angela Cialano.
Hello. Go Spurs, go. Boo.
Okay. From the plains of Buckhead in Atlanta, we have Sarah Vabulous.
Hello, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning. And last but not least, we have joining us today somebody popping. Who's popping over here? You can't stop. It's Tom Pringle.
Good morning, everyone.
Pop
Tom
Pringles.
I love this song.
You couldn't have timed that better.
That's really the only way. The only reason why we want Tom to come on the show is so we can play the Pringles song.
Okay, bye, Tom. See you later.
Yeah, take care.
Thanks for playing.
Oh, so we're going to get to you, Tom, here in a minute. But before we do, let's say hello to everyone and find out what has been going on this week. So let's see. Let's start with Angela in San Antonio. How are you?
I'm pretty swell. My week was not so swell, but on Sunday or was it Sunday? No, it was Thursday. Thursday, the Spurs won. The Spurs are our National Basketball Association team, and we are in the finals between the Miami Heat. And so Maria and I were going at it a little bit on Twitter.
Did you really call it the National Basketball Association?
Hey, for those who don't keep up with this stuff, I'm
Let's
being...
make sure.
It's all those foreigners out there. They don't know what the heck we're talking about.
There's nothing like the squeak of those shoes on the court, right, Angela?
I love it, the hardwood floors.
Are you talking about bowling, the National Bowling
Yes,
Association?
the National Bowling Association.
Thought so. The squeak of those bowling shoes on that wood floor.
We should
Bowling
get a
shoes
Catholic weekend bowling team. That's what we should do at the next CNMC.
I have bowling shoes. I'm ready.
I went
Oh,
bowling,
gosh.
I went bowling
Really
a couple
have-
weeks ago, and I think I scored 73.
Woo!
Wow. way to just roll them all over
I don't even
there.
know what that. See, I don't even know enough to
That's
know if that's
bad.
good or bad.
That's really bad.
300.
Well,
That is the top score.
considering that the previous time that I had bowled was probably 7 years ago, so...
Oh.
I don't think I've gone bowling since like the last birthday party in the 5th grade.
Let's do that. Next CNMC,
The
We'll go
CW bowling team.
CW bowling team. We'll take on anybody.
Anybody. That's right.
I'll
There
I'll
you
go only if Lisa Hendy goes.
Absolutely.
Oh, well,
How
let's
did
see.
you?
Maria,
Yes.
you weren't with us last week. We
I
missed
was
you.
not. Thanks.
Yeah. So what's going on with you?
I was at commencement last week, and so it's always good to see those kiddos graduate and you know, bore us through 3 hours of graduation.
Those schools that have
The
1,000
comes
graduates.
You know, big secret. You know what's behind the commencement program in the faculty section? It's a bunch of iPads and Kindles.
Oh, I thought you meant you got special programs with like crossword puzzles on them.
No. I look over sometimes and I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Are you really reading on your Kindle?" And sure enough. But listen, I have to tell you what happened to me last night. I'm so ticked off. I'm kind of disoriented this morning. We got an emergency services phone call to the house at 1:30, telling us that there was a boil water warning.
Wow.
Okay.
Watch out for boiled water.
I was just,
It's very hot. You could
I
burn
was
yourself.
so ticked off. You know, you wake up when you're a parent. I mean, my kids are grown and they don't live here anymore, and you got a call at 1 o'clock in the morning, and it's never going to be good news. You know, and I'm like, so I wake up in a cold sweat. John is like, nobody can find the phone at 1 o'clock in the morning because who uses a house phone?
Yeah, I know. What is that noise?
He has a house phone. That's what I know.
So I haven't had a good breakfast. We had 1 cup of coffee this morning because we boiled the water on the stove, and it was so much trouble that I said, forget that mess.
So why is there a boiled water warning?
I don't know. I guess from the storms that rolled through yesterday, something happened to us in our neighborhood, I guess.
No. They kind of missed a lot of the north side of town, so which is a good thing. Well, let's see. And I understand that you have a new roof.
We got a new roof, so now everything else looks crappy.
Is that because
It's supposed to work that way.
So now we have to fix the soffit because there's rotted wood in places, and they tore up the trim paint, so we have to get the trim painted again, and you know.
it never ends, does it?
That's the
Home
joy of
ownership is a money pit.
Yeah, one thing always leads to another. You change like the faucet in your bathroom, and suddenly the whole bathroom has to be updated.
That's part of
Well,
Home
the faucet
Depot's
looks
evil
too
plan.
good.
Well, let's see, Sarah. You weren't with us either last week.
No, I was in Cincinnati with Tom Pringle and Father Kyle Schnippel celebrating Father Kyle's 10th anniversary of his priesthood. So it was a really nice weekend. We helped Father move into his rectory, his new rectory, a little bit, and threw a party and had some fun.
And has Father been made whole by the insurance money and all that kind of stuff with his electronic devices?
He's
Oh,
already
yes.
a holy guy.
He is made holy. with
But
his
yes, he
iPad.
has all of his electronic addictions back, so no worries.
Good. All right. And Stephen, how are you this week?
I'm fine, Jeffrey.
And anything new to report for us?
I had an excellent week. There were two really great things that happened this week. Would you like to hear about it?
We would.
Well, the most important was last weekend. I think I mentioned this on the last show. I got to participate in and attend the ordination of my good friend Father Brian Ketterer, and it was just fantastic. It was one of the best days I've had in a very, very long time. And it was in true Catholic form. We sat through a 2-hour ordination mass and then rushed over to the nearby parish where he said his first mass. So we sat through 2 back-to-back masses, for about 3.5 hours worth of mass. It was great.
Well, the most important thing is, how did the reading go?
The readers were fantastic. Many people complimented them.
Did any of them trip on the way up to the ambo?
No, but they had pages out of order, so I had in their little notebook they had, so I had to figure that out,
Shuffle
with
pages.
Trying to throw you off.
Yeah, with 100 priests staring at me, I had to figure out that it was weird. I don't mind reading, I don't mind lecturing at Mass, but where I was directly in front of where they sat all the priests. So all the priests that I know and all the priests I didn't know in our diocese were there watching me, and I was like, if I screw this up, they're gonna know.
They were judging you.
Yeah, those priests, they love to judge.
Very judgmental.
No, but what I really liked was several of them came up to me afterwards and they said it was good to see me doing that, because I hadn't done that for a while. I used to do it a lot as a campus minister, so they came up and said it's really good seeing you up there again. So I really appreciated that.
Oh, that's sweet.
I think it's going to bear some fruit.
Well, it's a good thing we don't have any priests on our panel today. Oh, wait. Tom.
Nope, we don't.
No, we don't.
So, hey, Tom, what's new with you? Anything?
Not much, really.
He's like, I'm a priest now. No, just kidding.
No, it's been an interesting couple of weeks. So between getting the car almost damaged, cut in half by a tree limb, and then but last Wednesday, Bishop Noonan of the Diocese of Orlando accepted me as a seminarian for the diocese. So so that's my big news.
Yay!
So I'm looking forward to getting back into the swing of things. And
So what does that look like? What are you facing now?
Is that the fight bell?
Yeah, it is.
He's ready to fight for God. Round 1, Tom Pringle. Father Pringle. Or the small match.
Yeah.
That's the little bell on my bike.
Oh.
On my
trike?
airplane.
Is that what you said? Your trike?
When I'm flying my airplane around and other airplanes are in the
His
way.
big wheel.
Move out of the way! Move out of the way! All right. Enough fun with the sound effects. So go ahead and continue, Tom.
But I have to be. So the first thing that I have to do is sometime in July we're going to have a seminarian convocation. But then I start down at St. John Vianney in Miami on August 7th. So it'll be here before we know it.
Hey, I get to visit you every time I'm in Miami.
You should. Absolutely.
I will. I'll go feed you. I hear the food's not fantastic.
Well, they have an executive chef at the seminary, so the food's going to be good.
Oh, wow.
One of my besties, one of the kids, one of the guys that went through the whole youth group stuff, and when I was going through it as a teenager, is a priest. He's one of the professors in, if not that one, the one in Boynton Beach.
I'll go to both. Yep.
Yeah.
So
Every time I hear of John Vianney, I always think of the saints. What do they call that thing that we do at the Easter Vigil?
Litany.
Of the
The
Saints.
Litany
There
of the
it is.
Saints.
The Litany of the Saints. Thank you.
Sing it.
Saint John
Sing it.
Vianney. All
Pray
right.
for us.
Pray for us.
Wow.
Well,
you don't want me to
Catholic
sing
Weekend
it.
Choir.
That's why we're bowling and not a
Me,
choir.
me, me, me.
Bowling for Graces. That's us.
So you're going to take the summer off then?
yeah, I'm. My last day at work is going to be Friday, and I'm taking June and July off to get back into the routine of going to daily mass, all that kind of stuff. So it'll be fun.
Fantastic.
Yep.
So, what is your education going to consist of? Do you have theology or philosophy already, or do you have to start from the
I
beginning?
have some because I was in seminary for 2 years back in 2008. So I was there until 2010, but then so I already have 2 years of philosophy. So the question is, how many? Well, the question was, how many years am I going to have to do at St. John Vianney before I go to the major seminary? But Bishop Noonan was able to twist their arm a little bit and got me down to just doing a year
Oh.
in Miami, and then I'll presumably go to St. Vincent de Paul in Boynton Beach, and but because I'm working in a parish, it's like I have to do a pastoral year, because down here all of our guys have to do a pastoral year between the second and third year of theology. So during that year they're in a parish working, somewhere in the diocese or whatever, and so because I'm already working in a parish, I may not have to do that pastoral year. So it's looking like 5 or 6 years before ordination. So.
Ooh, the fast track.
Uh,
That's interesting because I think a lot of people don't realize how long. I mean, what would it be normally if you didn't already have some of that seminarian experience and pastoral work?
If you go into seminary directly out of high school, it'll take 9 years because you have 4 years of college and then 5 years of theology studies, or at least for the dioceses in Florida. The diocese will differ depending on their standards and whatnot.
but I think 9 is typical.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's kind of what it is across the board. And then, but if you come in after you already have a college degree, they'll put you in a 2-year pre-theology program studying philosophy and, getting into the routine of daily mass, liturgy of the hours, all that kind of stuff. And then after that, you'll do 5 years at the major. So it really ranges from 7 to 9 years. So it just depends.
Interesting.
Terrific.
Well, that's a long haul ahead of you, so I'm sure that this whole community is going to be praying for you all the time.
Please do. Yeah.
And I'm
gonna need
sure
'em.
you're going to keep us abreast of your journey.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm excited. I can't wait.
Angela, you're smirking. What are you thinking about right now, Angela?
Nothing.
Come on. She's thinking of something funny.
Tom, I could see the chapel of the seminary from my backyard.
Right.
I grew up a block from there, and
Westchester. Yeah.
in Westchester, beautiful
Yeah.
downtown Westchester.
Or as the Cubans say, Westchester.
Westchester. That's awesome.
So yeah, the seminary actually has, because the seminary has grown a lot in the last like 5 or 6 years, and it really started when I was my first year there, back in 2008. But during the summer before I got there, they bought 2 houses in the neighborhood right across the street. So the pre-theologians are in those houses. So it's a little more like a parish kind of feel, like a parish rectory feel for them. But the other guys are in the dorms. So, but they also just announced that they're going to be doing a renovation to the whole campus. So expanding the dorms and all sorts of different other things, because just of the sheer numbers of the guys coming in. So,
Well, there's nowhere to go but up.
right.
I mean, you're
Yeah.
really crowded in by the high school. There are 2 high schools.
Right. Yep, St. Brendan's and then Christopher Columbus.
Yeah.
So.
Well, good for you. I will definitely check in with you next time I'm in Miami in the fall.
Absolutely.
Well, that's great news. We can't wait to share your journey, or have you share your journey with us. Did you hear about the big news over in Italy? About this?
The Pope is still Catholic?
Yes. Did you hear that? Big news.
Wow.
No, Ursulin's sister Christina Squiscio.
Oh yeah.
Landslide victory on The Voice.
You just stole my pick of the week.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's my pick of the week.
That's okay.
Scramble, scramble, scramble.
Yeah. It wasn't as big a surprise as much as what she did with her winner's platform. She thanked everyone on the talent show for their help and support, but left her highest praise for God. Here's a quote from her. "My final and most important thanks go to the one who is up there," she said, to applause, pointing upwards, of course. And she said her presence on The Voice wasn't to walk away a winner or a music star, but to show people a different kind of victory. And again, quoting, "My dream is to recite the Our Father together. Maybe we can hold each other's hands and pray. I want Jesus to come right here inside." It left most people perplexed and unsure, but Sister Christina was in charge, telling the band to strike up a soft melody to set the mood. So it goes on. We'll have a link to this.
I
article.
love it. It takes a nun to hijack an entire audience.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you going to do? It's a nun. You know, it's like, well, I can't. Rude.
Who's going to say no?
So I
That's
guess
awesome.
at the end of the article here is what does the Vatican have to say? Well, last night during the competition, the head of the Pontifical Council for Culture tweeted a quote from an ancient Roman statesman who was a Christian writer and great supporter of monastic communities. This is Gianfranco Ravasi, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing
Mm-hmm.
his name right. Se comandito in Gisco. I don't speak.
Bring Paul Camerata in, quick.
Yeah, I'm going to read the English translation. If we continue to commit injustice, God will leave us without music. And his advice, in the morning, the cardinal tweeted saying, even if you can't sing well, sing. Sing to yourself. Sing in the privacy of your home, but sing. There you go.
I'd rather sing for you, Jeff.
Well.
Now
Maria, we
what
can
are you
do
going
that
to say?
privately after the show. Okay, Maria. Go ahead. Sing a little something.
That's a beautiful thing. I love that she did that.
Me too. I'm
What
trying
is
to find my tuning thing. I have one here somewhere. Yeah, well.
F sharp.
Okay.
Fail.
Well,
It's better to be
so I thought I'd throw that in
let
there.
me go find a paper bag, okay? Hold on.
So what do you think of that's pretty cool, I think, that we had some representation in one of the worldwide talent shows. Okay, well, that's good stuff there.
Does every country have those kind of, contests now?
Major
I think
countries
so.
do, yeah.
Yeah, I think that that's a reparation for the transvestite that just won the other one, right? Did you see that?
Gosh, yeah.
The guy
What
with
was
the
it called?
beard.
Euro something or other?
Whatever.
Yeah. He or she was very interesting.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Not sure how to follow that. Maybe we can talk about Jeff's mustache.
Let's talk about Jeff's mustache.
I think that's what Angela was smirking about. She's thinking about, when do I start talking about Jeff's mustache? So, to start us off.
Well, okay. Well, let me preface it with, for those of you who probably figured this out already, the pre-show, which is never televised, is probably the part.
It's nonsense. Total nonsense.
And for whatever reason, we were talking about that out of control caterpillar on Jeff's face. And
Not me.
and Angela says, wait. We need to talk about the mustache on the show. So, Angela, to you, doll.
Well, okay, so we were asking him when was the last time you actually saw what your face looked like. And he said 1988, but I was wondering, when did you start the mustache?
When I was about 3, I think. No, you know what? It's really kind of, I think it was in college when I started it. And if you see some early pictures of me with my starter mustache, it's quite funny. In fact, my family makes fun of me because it's like there's a big gap in the middle of it because the hair didn't grow in the middle. And it was pretty lousy looking, actually. But over the years, it's gotten thicker and thicker and grayer and grayer. But I was wearing a mustache, I think, in college. Yeah, there's a picture of me in my junior and senior year at Auburn with a mustache. So.
Moustache.
Yeah. But I'm of Scandinavian heritage, and some Scandinavians, I guess, because I was just thinking, wait a minute, Vikings, they're kind of Scandinavian and they have big beards and stuff, but some Scandinavians don't have, not really hairy, and I don't really have a bunch of. It's not like I have a 5 o'clock shadow after a couple hours after I shave or anything. So
Maybe you're half Viking.
Just your upper lip.
Right. Not that little spot in the middle. That's not
Put some
Viking hair.
mascara on it. Darken it up.
Well, my
That
story
men's
about
hair gel.
Yeah.
Rogaine.
Rogaine for the Gap.
Mind the gap.
Once again, we are having one of the most random conversations this morning.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Yeah, we went from Pringles going to seminary to just mustache.
But there's totally a link. I mean, how many priests back in the day had extreme facial hair? You know what I'm saying? Like even today in the religious brothers, Some of them have really intense facial hair
was-
going on.
When I was living with the Capuchins, they have a tradition, of growing long beards in the Capuchins, and they have a reason for it. And I can't remember now what it is. I think it has something to do with vanity or whatever. But then you see pictures of, people like St. Maximilian Kolbe, pre-war, where they had long beards and things like that. And I think in the Eastern traditions, beards are kind of expected on the clergy. At least that's what it seems to be
What's
to
up
me.
with that?
Yeah.
I may be wrong about that. But.
Well,
They're
the
to
facial hair-
save food to come back to eat later.
Oh gosh, you went there, didn't you? Ah.
There is some
Grody.
utility in it.
Well, there's the facial hair trends go around in circles and cycles, and it's back in. Did you hear that there are men, that the hipster guys that are doing hair transplants for their beards?
Yeah, so
What?
gross. Yeah, it's a
Isn't
thing.
that crazy?
Oh.
Yeah,
That's not hipster. That's just like
Lame.
wannabe.
Desperate.
desperate. I guess. I guess it must be crappy whoops, gosh, that's the second time I say that today. It must be pretty bad for guys who want to have a full beard, and I guess they only have little patches.
So
I don't know.
they're
Middle age is
transplanting
kind of
their hair from
introducing me to that whole concept now, and I'm not a
them putting it on their beard. What? I don't understand.
They're doing transplants. They're transplanting hair for their faces so that they can
Yeah,
have
instead
full
of
beards.
From
putting
their
on their
the top
head.
of their head.
Plugs instead of your
Yeah,
plugs.
they have beard plugs.
Wow.
Wow. I've never wanted to have any kind of facial hair, and nobody in my family has either. It's not part of our family tradition, so I've never. My brother grew a mustache one time, and we laughed so hard that he shaved it right off.
You just got to power through
I'm really
that.
bad about that.
Usually when you first start growing your mustache, you get a lot of that. So you gotta stay dedicated to it.
That's where you become a man.
That's right.
Take a mustache.
That's right.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's a tradition in our family, Steve. My sister, wow, you should
Hey,
see it. Just
watch
kidding.
Oh, you're in trouble.
I know.
watch it.
Good thing she doesn't watch the show.
My dad's always had a mustache. I can't remember a time that he didn't. And the thing is that every time he would shave, though, unlike you, every once in a while he would just shave. And we would just beg him to grow it back because he looked like Colonel Klink.
Well, I've told you that in my family, anytime, because I occasionally think, it'd be kind of nice just to change a pace, just to get rid of it. And they go, no, because they've seen pictures of me without it.
I think your son looks like you.
Yeah, I guess. Do you? Chris looks like me? I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
He's got a little something going on, like a little.
Soul patch.
a little soul patch.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him in years. I don't know.
Yeah,
Haven't kept up.
he's here for the summer, and he's going to be heading out to Hollywood next week, I think, for the Campus Movie Fest. That thing that he won at University of Central Florida. Well, the big one where all the winning films meet together in Hollywood, California.
Oh, awesome.
Universal Studios. So.
Are you going for that, or is it just a student?
No, he's going to go, and he doesn't want parents there and stuff.
Too cool for school.
Yeah,
Understood.
So, I don't know. I need to look at the flights to see if he's going to actually be able to get on an airplane, because let me tell you what, the airports and the airplanes are so packed. It looks like Christmas time out there. It's amazing. You can tell summer is here. It's very, very crowded in the airport terminals.
Except for Tom's flights to and from Cincinnati.
Really? They're not.
There were 76 seats empty on both of them.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a throwback.
Did you get to stretch out and take a nap?
I did.
Gigantor. Finally. Some empty
Have you ever
seats
been-
for me.
Have you ever wished you could just lay down in the aisle and stretch out? I do that every time I fly.
I've done that once when I was 14 and I went to Rome. I did that. Fun fact.
Well, I guess that's a tradition with you to sleep on to sleep on.
I
the
fall
floor.
asleep. Okay, I know. I fall asleep lots of random places. I like my sleep. Okay, so I
On
can
the
just
ground.
pretty much sit down and fall asleep. It's what I do.
It's a talent. It's a blessing.
I don't sleep so good, so I just gotta pick it up where I can.
Well, speaking of half-hearted Catholics, I don't know. That I wasn't really pointing at you, Sarah. Those who insist others pray and believe exactly like they do, those who have alternatives to every church teaching, and benefactors who use the church as a cover for business connections may call themselves Catholics, but they have one foot out the door. Guess who said that?
Pope
Pope
Francis.
Francis.
Yes, he did. Many people say they belong to the church, but in reality only have one foot inside, he said, June 5th at the morning mass in the chapel of his residence. So he was kind of calling people down, calling people out.
Well,
I'd say.
I think it's good to do that. I think, from time to time we all need to reevaluate how we approach our faith,
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's good to hear that, it kind of makes you think about yourself,
Yeah, and you know what? I think all of us could probably put ourselves in one of these three groups. Like the first one, he labeled uniformists. He said he believed that first group believes that everyone in the church should be just like them. They are rigid. They do not have that freedom that the Holy Spirit gives, and they confuse what Jesus preached with their own doctrine of uniformity. And then the last one, of course, are the people that kind of call themselves Catholic just because they gives them an edge to sell stuff to, like-minded people and make money off of it. But really, their hearts aren't into it.
They picked the wrong business, I think. There's not most of the Catholics I know don't have a whole lot of money.
I know. You don't want to try to sell T-shirts and coffee mugs to Catholics. Let me just put it that way.
No, because they expect it for free. Hey, Jeff, can you make the bowling team shirts for us?
Oh, now you want a bowling shirt.
Now,
I suggested that a couple years ago.
I'm still bitter about that. I wanted that.
You were the only one. Boy, that idea was shot down in a
I
hurry.
was totally up for it.
All right. Well, we didn't know we were actually going to be bowling, Steve.
Well, can we get Catholic Weekend bowling shirts? That sounds excellent. I would wear it around all the time.
We'll have to work on that. We'll talk. We'll talk.
I will pay for mine.
Okay.
Well, on the latest episode of the Catholics Next Door, Greg and Jennifer were talking just about that, about how difficult it is to recognize the fact that you need to provide for your family, and at the same time, a lot of people think that because you're working in ministry or new evangelization or any kind of the Catholic sphere that somehow you should be giving away all that stuff because it's for God.
Mm-hmm.
And it's your duty to provide for your family. So how do you balance that? It's a tough call. And I'm wearing my Rosary Army T-shirt today, as a matter of fact, one of many that I have. Ta-da!
Yay.
Mm-hmm. And I mean that's the conversation they've had from probably some of the earliest episodes of Rosary Army. How do you reconcile this is your job and this is also your ministry and your faith and your life?
I think it's very interesting the difference between the Catholic communities and the evangelical communities in that regard, because I think you see like tithing just as a concept, I mean, there's more. There seems to be more of like a commercialization almost, or just a lot more products in the evangelical market. If I'm trying to like freeze it in such a way, but you know what I'm saying? Like I think
they have an easier
connection
separation.
with money.
Yeah, exactly. They have an easier separation, it seems, where they have the folks that are leaders in the evangelical movements that they make money off of everything that they do, but it's like accepted for them because they also are giving back to their churches and whatnot. But it seems like in the Catholic Church, God forbid you make any money off of anything that you do in new media or like speaking gigs, things like that. It's just not. It's kind of frowned upon.
Well, I understand this whole topic. I mean, we're told that we have God-given gifts and that we should share those with the community. But if we do that to the extent that we can't provide for ourselves and our family, then we'll soon find ourselves in the position where we're unable to share those gifts. So there has to be a balance in there, which I think, I understand a little bit of, why they discussed this the way they did. It's like, you have to be fair about this.
Exactly. And like for me, I work in a parish. I'm the coordinator of stewardship and development. So I kind of understand this whole stewardship kind of concept. And it's like people don't remember a lot of times that you can give to your parish in a way that's not financial, by giving of your service to the parish. So, I mean, if you can't give financially, there's always a chance that you can, or always an opportunity to give based on what you do for the parish community, or whatever. And I know, like, most parishes each year do like a stewardship renewal kind of thing, where they talk about giving your financial contributions to different areas of the church. And it's we always recommend personally, from personal experience, that you give 5% to your parish, 4% to another charity, and then 1% to like a diocesan entity or whatever.
That's exactly what we do. It's crazy.
So in that whole 5% isn't necessarily financial contribution. It can also be of your time, because stewardship is not just monetary. It's time, talent, and treasure.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah.
Well, and you know what? Sometimes it just takes time to build up to tithing. To get your mindset in it, but also to help you trust in releasing those funds. That you thought that that you couldn't live without.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really an ongoing journey for people to be moving in that direction. So I like how you put that.
Yeah, and I think
about
people don't realize that basically any gift that you have, you can contribute to your parish. I mean, people don't think about it, but parishes, a lot of them pay for people to tend to the landscaping and clean the buildings and stuff like that. And gosh, I mean, if we had parishioners do that, what a difference that would make. And that's just
Exactly.
manual labor. I mean, a lot of people can do that. So
Yeah, and a lot of parishes pay outside companies, whatever, to do their websites and their technology. And if you have a gift with that, that's something that you can always volunteer to do for your parish. I had a co-pilot I was flying with a couple of years ago who, while he was furloughed, he flew corporate. And he said one thing he learned, at least flying out of one of the northern Atlanta suburban small airports where a lot of commercial jets, not commercial, but private jets are flown. He said that if you really want to make it big, either be an evangelical, like televangelist, or an owner of a strip club. He said because those are the people who are flying the private jets.
Wow.
Yeah, and
Well,
I went,
he must
what?
have been flying Creflo Dollar around, right?
He didn't name names, but I'm just saying. He said that's what he picked up, from his anecdotal evidence. That the people that were flying the big business jets were either, the televangelists or the other end of the spectrum. So.
Yeah, because the Catholics have the passenger vans.
You're hoping 15 passenger.
That you're hoping stay together. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
And yet it's I wouldn't trade it. So.
No. I don't think any of us would.
No, it's a tough. Oh, here we go.
It's time for Maria to play the saxophone.
Break it down. Is that solo coming up?
I think so. But in the meantime, let us tell you and thank you again, those of you who. Oh, look, Spider-Man has joined us. Wow. Let's see. What is that? Oh boy.
I saw a great comic of Spider-Man the other day. His grandma was saying when he was itsy bitsy, he got stuck in the water. And Spider-Man is going, stop that!
That's fantastic.
Well, it's time for us to talk about SQPN, the StarQuest Production Network, the network on which this show is hosted, Catholic Weekend. And we'd like to thank everyone for their continued support of our network by your prayers. Need to pray harder, and your monetary support. We do appreciate that. So if you want to help us out with our efforts in the new evangelization, head over to sqpn.com/donate. And there you can be a friend of SQPN just like so many others. And if you're doing some shopping, I just have to listen to Maria here for a second. Nice job, Maria. If you're going to be shopping using online shopping places like Amazon, head over to sqpn.com. Click on the Amazon.com banner first, and then your purchase will help out our network. And also, finally, if you want to start your own blog, your own podcast, your own whatever, and you need web hosting, Bluehost is a fine place to do it. And you can go over again to sqpn.com/Bluehost, or just look for the Bluehost banner, click on it, join up, and they'll give us a nice little bit of a fee, or whatever they call it, a gift for you signing up with them. So thank you, all of you, for your support. Thank you, Maria, for tooting that sax.
Mm-hmm.
We got. What are you eating, Maria?
John just brought me French toast
Mm.
with some strawberries from the garden. And you can't see it, so I'm just going to enjoy and eat it.
Be there soon. If I leave now, I can be there by 11:40.
French toast, sausage, and fresh strawberries from the garden. Gosh, I'm enjoying our garden so much.
So, yeah, we've been getting a lot of rain, so I guess that hasn't been a problem this
Wait,
year.
you grew sausage in your garden? That's
I
awesome.
grew sausage in the garden. What did I say last summer that I was growing in the garden? Somebody got me about that.
All right. Anybody want to bring up any other news item or anything else we want to talk about before we go over to our picks of the week?
Avoid tree limbs.
What happened to
happened?
you? What happened?
Okay. It was raining here last Thursday, okay? And I had to go get some last-minute things to take to Cincinnati. So I was going to the store. So I'm driving down the road. All of a sudden, this tree branch falls right in front of me. So I swerve to miss it, slamming on the brakes, but the roads are wet, so of course I don't stop. I'm just kind of sliding. And I run over this stupid little tree branch that was about this big. So ran it over, and it knocked a hole in my bumper.
Oh.
Tore off the little covering that's above the wheel inside the wheel well. I don't know what that thing's called. Destroyed the motor mounts, destroyed the transmission mounts. So it's like there's $2,000 worth of damage to the car.
Whoa.
Oh.
Just from a little branch.
Just because, well, okay, so he says little branch, and it's
Yeah,
and he goes
about
like
4 or 5 inches.
About the size of my head.
ran over a tree.
Yeah, that's a big branch.
Wow.
In his Toyota Camry. It's not meant for off-roading.
So it was not fun. So I was out there in the rain, pounding the wheel well covering back into place because it had fallen down on top of the wheel.
Were you able to drive it, though?
Yeah. In fact, I've been driving it for the last week.
Oh, even with the motor mounts messed up and transmission mounts? But they're still there. They're just
Yes. Yeah, they're just
Oh, listen, you can keep that up. You'll be right at home in Miami.
right.
Or Roswell.
So we're getting
our
it fixed.
1998 Town and Country van. Still hanging in there. Barely. But I tell you, if we run over a tree like that, or a branch like that, it's over. All right. Well, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
And speaking of sharing, we need to share our picks of the week. Thank you, Pat Cohn. Yeah, we still need to prank her, don't we?
Yeah, we do. You should try it right now.
Hey, can I go first again for my pick of the week?
Go home.
Because it's gonna, and I started it on the early side because I want to play a video that I thought was pretty touching. I don't know if you've heard about this. The most touching speech made by a bride's father to the groom. Anybody here?
I meant to watch
this?
that.
Okay, so if you don't mind, we'll take a listen to that, and hopefully I won't get in trouble for playing it. Why can't I get this thing to play? Wow, slap.
Dead
Oh, wait a
air.
minute. You can't hear that, can you? 'Cause I have-
Nope.
No.
Okay, hang on.
That silence is so loud.
Yeah, hang on. Okay. All right. Could you hear that?
Yeah, for a second.
Yeah, okay. Because I'm trying to get it. If for some reason it keeps following my cursor and I can't get it to start over from the beginning. Please let me do it.
Refresh the page, maybe?
Okay, thank you. It's like it's getting stuck. It won't let me, like I'm pressing down on my mouse, but I'm not. Okay, here we go. Ready?
Philip, I want to tell you a story.
That's the groom.
And like all good stories, it starts like this. Once upon a time, there was a father. And in case you can't figure that out, that's me. This father had a wonderful little boy. He was very happy. Then one day he found out that his wife was going to have another baby. So I prayed, Lord, if it's your will, give me a little girl. And he did. I was the first person to hold her in my arms. I looked at her and I said, Lord, make her like her mother. And he did. She was loving, giving, so good and so kind. But then I realized I was getting left out. So I said, Lord, make her like me. And he did. She can drive a truck and a tractor. She can load hay and strip it back up. You realize what you're getting. But at the same time, she was opinionated, emotional, hard-headed. So I said, Lord, that's enough of that. Make her like you. And he did. He gave her a desire to serve people. She loves people. She gave her life to being a nurse. She's brought people back from the dead. She's held the hand of people and breathed their last breath. He gave her a heart for missions, and she's trekked all over the world, pushed canoes up swollen rivers, and laid on the floor while bullets whizzed outside so she could tell people about Jesus. But still something was missing. So I said, Lord, make her happy.
Make her happy.
And she made. See that look on her face? I never saw that until she met you. And I'm grateful for that. Today I'm giving you the best thing I had to give. I just wanted you to know before I do that how hard me and God's work to get it ready. So Philip, as I give her to you, I don't think you'll mind if I give you one little word of advice. Me and God's worked hard. Don't screw it up.
So there you go.
Oh, that's so sweet, Jeff.
So
You're a
yeah,
daddy
he
to
caused a
two
lot of people
beautiful
to cry,
young
including
women.
the groom, who was wiping tears away.
You're such a sap, Jeff.
I am. Well, eventually one of these days, I could be, giving away 2 of my daughters. So, I guess it's touching to those of us who have daughters. But anyway, if you want to see the whole, I know that some of that was hard to hear. The video actually has captioning, so you can hear exactly what he's saying. But
For all those
anyway,
people that don't speak East Texan.
yeah. And I know there's a lot of background noise and everything else in there too, so it was hard to hear exactly what he was saying. But I think we all got the gist of it. And that's something that I would love to say probably, but I wouldn't be able to say it. I'd get the first sentence or 2 out, and then I'd be so choked up I wouldn't be able to. So, anyway,
Videotape it.
yeah, my video,
Sweet.
my pick of the week is that video. And Lynn, I'll give you the link to that in the show notes. So, who wants to go next? All right, I'll
Well,
pick
don't everybody jump at once. I'll
Maria
do it.
talked, so it's Maria's turn.
It's my turn. So I have a book that I just got into the very last. Can I do this right? Walking with Mary. It's called
That's
Walking
a
with Mary.
great book.
It's a great book.
A Biblical Journey from Nazareth to the Cross by Edward Sweet. It's Image Books, and I've had it sitting on my stack that's this huge of books to read, and finally got around to it. No regrets. Y'all, that's a great book. You should pick it up. So easy to read, and it just reads beautifully. I mean, it's just Mary's story. It's wonderful.
And based on recommendations from others, I bought that for Linda for Mother's Day.
Oh, sweet.
Woot.
It's a great book.
Too. Okay, great. Let's see, who wants to go next? How about Steve?
Okay, my pick of the week is nowhere near as spiritual as that. Mine is that today is National Chocolate Ice Cream Day.
What?
Yes.
We
I
need
don't
to
know
celebrate.
if
Wasn't
I don't know what
yesterday
makes these
National
things up.
Donut?
Yesterday was Donut Day.
If you don't like chocolate ice cream, then have some vanilla.
No, if you don't like chocolate ice cream, then
Go away.
Who
go
doesn't
away.
like chocolate ice cream?
But,
Tom?
you know, I have to say that chocolate ice cream isn't my number one pick, but it's up there pretty high. So
So what is your number one?
I like vanilla with stuff on it, like strawberries and blackberries and things like that.
I don't understand. All the men that I know like vanilla ice cream. What is up with that?
Because it's simple. That's why.
Well, I don't like things that are overly sweet, and a lot of the chocolate ice cream I get, or that you can get in the stores or whatever, is really, really sweet. If they made like a semi-sweet or a dark chocolate ice cream, I think I would like that a lot better.
Do you know how Cubans eat chocolate ice cream?
With their mouth?
Salted?
No, with sweetened condensed milk poured over it.
Ooh.
Take
Wow.
note, Pringle.
I might actually try that.
Chocolate
know,
ice cream with sweetened condensed milk.
You know what
And
also
let
is
me tell
good?
you, incredible.
That marshmallow kind of concoction, like the syrupy kind of marshmallow
No.
on the top of. Oh, come
Oh,
on.
I know what you're talking about. You can get it at frozen yogurt places. It's the marshmallow stuff. And
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's really
Man,
good.
Sweetened
Chocolate
condensed
ice cream.
milk. Try
I
it.
like the tart
Try it.
froyo. Tart froyo with fruit on it. That's my favorite.
Froyo.
Froyo. Froyo.
Okay, well,
With
chocolate
fruit,
ice cream.
with fruit on it, Steve?
Yes, especially fresh cut
Berries.
strawberries from
From Maria's
garden.
garden.
So let's
the
see.
sausage plant.
Yesterday was the anniversary of D-Day, and today it's Chocolate Ice Cream Day.
Yeah.
So
I felt, I was
get your flags out.
pretty tuned into the whole D-Day thing yesterday because it was the 70th anniversary. But I don't know. I was thinking about all the men that I knew growing up. I was born like 15, 16 years after D-Day. So all the men that I grew up, all my teachers and neighbors and all this, they were all World War II veterans, and they were good, solid people. I have the greatest respect for the people that went through that war, any war actually.
Yeah.
I was remembering my high school history teacher, Bob Davis, who I'm sure has passed away, and if he hasn't, he's got to be really, really old.
Mhm.
And he was in Patton's army, and he liberated one of the what was it? The
Concentration camp.
concentration. I forget the name of which one it was, but I remember that we spent like 6 weeks on World War II because it was just him coming in and reminiscing.
Did
Yeah,
you
but
see the
that's how you're going to remember
was-
it. Hearing.
Yeah, I know it was amazing.
Did you see the pictures of the 93-year-old man that parachuted into France yesterday?
Yeah.
Yes, I saw the video. He's so cute.
Yeah, his name is Pee Wee Martin. He's with the 506th Parachute Infantry Regiment, and if you've ever watched Band of Brothers, that's the same regiment.
Oh.
Easy
I
Company.
just watched it the last 2 weeks because now it's
Yeah.
on Amazon Prime, so it's awesome. If you guys have Amazon Prime, watch Band of Brothers.
Yeah, I highly recommend it.
Did you hear about that old guy who escaped from like his nursing home?
Yes.
He hid his medals.
They were like, no, you can't go to Normandy for the 70th anniversary. And he said, watch this. So he walked out in the middle of the night.
Did he make it?
They found him in Normandy.
Seriously?
That's epic.
Normandy, Florida.
How are you gonna tell somebody that survived that they can't go? Right?
That I survived one invasion. I'm going to survive this evasion.
He really did make it to Normandy?
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing.
That's so awesome.
Get on a plane and go.
Fantastic. Fantastic. That is so awe-inspiring.
Yeah. That's better than those stories of the dogs that, are thousands of miles away that make their way back home.
You had to equate those two things?
I know, I said that's much better.
Thanks for speaking up, Steve.
Nothing alike.
It's such a
that's why I said
Jeffism.
It's better, I said. It's a lot better. Sorry, I brought it up. All right. Well, let's see. Thank you, Steve, for the chocolate ice cream. And let's see, Angela.
Well, since we're talking about sweets, I got these jelly beans called, they're Jelly Belly jelly beans.
Oh,
And they're called Cocktail Classics.
Wow.
They're pretty fantastic. So there's margarita, peach Bellini, pomegranate Cosmo, pina colada, strawberry daiquiri, and mojito.
You're
which
making
was
me
my favorite.
thirsty.
Wow. And do they taste good?
Yeah, they are good. I mean, it's a lot of fun. Obviously there's still alcohol in them, but otherwise they'd be really fun. But yeah, so if you like jelly beans, check them out. But yeah, and my other pick is the Spurs because I live in San Antonio and we love our Spurs. Go Spurs.
Sweet.
Yeah. Fix your air conditioning, okay?
Yeah, that was pretty sad. It was, for those of you who didn't watch the game, during the first game on Thursday, apparently there was an electrical failure in the building where the air conditioning is. And so there was a temperature of 90 degrees recorded in the stadium during pretty much the entire game. And yeah, it was epic. So
That's pretty hot, especially for those big guys playing basketball. I mean,
well, supposedly
I have
because
a leg cramp all of a sudden. Oh,
Stop.
supposedly, like in Europe, and overseas, they don't have air conditioning in the stadiums, and so and the gyms, and so a lot of our team is international players, like most of our team, and so afterwards they were like, we didn't really notice anything. So.
Hey, I played basketball in South Florida before gyms were air conditioned. I mean, you played in 90 degrees.
Yeah.
don't set yourself up like
That's all I
that.
have to say about that.
Go ahead, Steve. You're my
I was
pal.
going to say, I mean, they've been air conditioning gyms since like 1950.
Yeah, but ours weren't. The public schools weren't.
St. Pius Catholic High School here in Atlanta has a gym that's not air conditioned today.
Right now.
Right
Go over
now.
there right now.
Yes.
You
So
can find out.
there you have it.
They need a new development person then.
Well, and I played basketball at St. Pius X.
And-
It's
Yeah,
something like 10 or 15 million dollars. It's going to be absolutely insane. So they just can't justify it. With everything else they got to do to the school, it's not the top priority.
Just to put air conditioning in their gym?
Yes.
$15 million?
Yes.
That's
Because when you start one project, you have to retrofit the whole building.
Yep.
build a new gym. Tear it down, start over.
Might be cheaper.
Practically, yeah. Well, I don't know. Have you seen their gym? It's really magnificent.
Yeah.
Let's see, Sarah.
My pick of the week is swimming. So I went swimming for the first time in probably legit swimming laps. For the first time I think since I was probably 10 or 11 years old, so like 20 years, guys. I have muscles in my arms and back that I forgot about because I'm like, went to like brush my hair and I'm like, oh, that hurts. So decided that yes, this is a good thing. So swimming.
Was it air conditioned?
Yes, but the pool is a little cold, but I was still sweating. So it's the weirdest thing ever to be working so hard in water and then you pop up to breathe for a minute and you're sweating. It's just really bizarre, but it's a good workout. See you guys at the pool.
Yeah.
Nice.
You don't want a warm pool to swim laps because you can really overheat. You can get heat stroke in swimming.
All right. Well, thank you, Sarah, and our swimmer. And Tom, do you have a pick of the week?
I actually have two. The first one.
You're not allowed to pick.
Well, I'm taking two anyway.
Oh, okay.
Well.
One is his nose.
So the first one, the Archdiocese of Cincinnati, hat tip to Father Kyle Schnipple, just produced a new vocations video called Parents of the Called. It's an excellent video featuring his mom and dad. So, but it's a great video, and I think it gives an interesting perspective to vocations to the priesthood. So that's my first one. And the second is in-car jam sessions with your besties.
Those are the
Yes. That was the best last weekend. Roll down all the windows, open the sunroof, country music on real loud in Ohio.
Oh, jeez.
And there may or may not have been a Casey and JoJo song. But
Yeah, there definitely was.
Is there any beer involved in this?
No. Actually, absolutely not. We were coming back from Mass, so no.
That would be
Yes.
illegal.
Pumped on the spirit. Drunk on the spirit.
Well, that's what everybody feels when they're watching this show. Drunk on the spirit.
That's what we'll call it.
Well, we were having a bit of a war with the guys in the cars next to us that were like rap music. So I was like, forget that. Got my hybrid, all the volume up real loud in my hybrid.
I'm sure that was impressive.
Oh yeah, very.
it was a great time. It was a great time.
Did you have the shocks that go up and down?
Yeah, no, I think those would affect my smart brakes that charge my battery. So.
Nice.
All right. Well, great picks of the week. That's everybody, right? I didn't skip anybody.
A good time was had by all.
Yes, it was. So you can probably hear that music in the background. That means that the show is almost over.
Oh, gosh. Amen.
Yes. So, Angela Ciolana, would you please tell us about your wonderful blog and how we can find it?
It's just so much fun. Come to inspiredangela.wordpress.com. This is my Lisa Hendy impression.
Wait, you have to put the tiara on.
And Twitter at inspiredangela. So excuse all of the basketball tweets for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, you might want to mute Inspired Angela if you don't want to hear about the basketball. All right, well, thank you, Angela. Maria Johnson, you have a blog, Another Cup of Coffee.
I do. You can see my latest entry, which is for Steve Nelson's Catholic Photo Challenge.
Oh, and I did not submit anything for the last
Oh, you have time.
Okay.
You have
Do the new one,
time.
do
What
the
is it,
new
Steve?
one.
It's on the 1st and the 15th, right?
1st and the 15th. Yep.
Yeah, so you've got time to do that.
Got another week for this one.
Okay.
Some neat pictures up. So, yeah, you can follow me at Bego, at what? I just went through the alphabet. At Bego, B-E-G-O. And this week, I'm kind of featured, sort of, on Pat Cohn's blog. She did a kind of best of podcast, and so she featured Among Women number 146, which is The Power of a Praying Friend, and I'm on that. So
Hey.
go listen to that one, or go listen to the recent one, which is about working women, which is also really fantastic. So.
Working 9 to 5.
I love that song.
Me too.
I love the movie.
Oh yeah, even better. Oh, Dolly Parton.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, Sarah, your blog is Catholic Drinky.
CatholicDrinky.com, and you can find me on Twitter at CatholicDrinky, and I have plugged out time this weekend to write several blog posts, so they're going to be auto-scheduled for this week. Steve, that's for you, buddy.
Wow.
Yay.
With no date. Right.
I do not put dates in my blog posts. Deal with it.
First
Alright.
blog post, Jelly Belly Cocktail Classics, y'all.
Sure, there is an alcohol in there.
Hey, Angela, do you want to write a guest post for me about those? Hint, hint.
Maybe.
Okay, whatever. I don't like you anymore.
You heard it here. She just committed
It's
to
just
writing
like
a blog.
it's not the same. I mean,
No, that's totally legit.
you think?
Yes. I'm the
Rob
Catholic
is-
Drinky. I think I know
All right,
what's up.
fine.
Are you going to pay
Fine.
her, or are you expecting her to donate her time in town?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I will send you and
Stewardship to
Dan.
Catholic Drinky.
I will send you and Dan a koozie and a homebrew.
Wow.
Okay, time to go right.
I can be your agent anytime.
I
Angela.
write for food.
Hey, where's Nelson's 20%?
Yeah,
I don't know. Steve's the one that's gonna mail me a beer.
that's true. That's true.
Well, Steve, how about yourself? Everything Esteban?
EverythingEsteban.com, yeah, and you can participate in the Catholic Photo Challenge if you like. Or my last post was some pictures of a visit I made to the beaches in Normandy with some college students back in, when was that? 2006, I think. So take a look at those too.
Excellent. Well worth it. And finally, Tom, do you have a blog, or are you going to be starting one soon?
I need to rethink what I'm doing with mine because of the new news that I have. But other than that, you can find me on Twitter and on Facebook. Look on me for Twitter at Thomas Pringle, and then on Facebook, Tom Pringle. So.
Excellent.
Would you? I'm just curious. Would you have to have permission from your vocation director to do something like that now?
Yes and no.
I'm just curious. I don't know what kind of.
know about it.
Because they in the application they ask you everything from your name, date of birth, to your social networks that you're on, to even how many times you go to the bathroom. So each day.
Wait, really?
Seriously?
Seriously?
That's a question. Yes.
Wow.
That's for the medical part. So.
That's kind of anal.
Oh.
Rib
You
shot.
went there.
Almost made it.
Show title. That's the name of the show today, you guys.
No.
And finally, I'm the airline pilot guy, and had a great meetup in Cleveland, Ohio, a couple days ago with some local listeners. We had a great time at the City Tap next door to the Radisson downtown, not too far from the ballpark there in beautiful downtown Cleveland. So if you're interested in airline stuff, head over to airlinepilotguy.com. All right. Anything else before we pull the plug on this thing?
Yeah, right. Pull the
Thomas
plug.
is giggling about something. All right.
If only I could flush a toilet right now.
Well, I could probably find a sound effect for that. Effect. Well, the best I can do is this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Wrong answer. Okay, well, until next week. Let's not forget that this Sunday, this weekend, it's tomorrow. It's Pentecost.
Wear your
Watch out.
red, you guys.
Watch out for
Red.
the flames.
Watch out for the flames. All
So
right.
if I wear like a fire T-shirt to mass, is that acceptable? Like,
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna wear a fire suit.
Yeah, do it.
So, oh my gosh, come dressed as a fireman.
I'm here for the Holy Spirit.
but you don't want to put out the fire.
You want that's why you want the fire suit, so that
We
you
didn't-
can
we didn't-
go up in flames.
We didn't start the fire, you guys.
I know. Who did? All right. This thing is just going way down the toilet now. All right. Hope you enjoyed this week's episode. I know I did, and hope to see you back here again next week for another episode. Catholic Weekend. Take care, and God bless. Bye. All right.
I have to ask a question now. On my Google Hangout, Sarah's little icon is sitting there jumping up and down, and I have no idea why.
It's not on mine.
Maybe
Maybe
not on mine either.
so she's hoppy.
I wish I could. I wish you could see this.
Oh.
No, really, it's sitting there and it twists. It goes like this. I have no idea why.
Twitching.
What she talks?
Sorry?
I can't. I'm clueless. I have no idea why.
Hey, Steve, I have a real question about your photo contest thing.
Uh-huh.
Do you want people to name their blog posts like a certain thing, or anything like that? Just curious.
It's not necessary because
Okay.
once you click on the little plug-in at the bottom, you put in the link to whatever it is.
Yeah,
and-
I didn't know if you wanted it to be the same across all blog posts so that there's some consistency there, but just asking.
I can't see a reason for doing that other
But you
than
can suggest a tag, right?
yeah.
Yeah, it was like Kath Photo, right?
Yeah, I haven't been real clear about what to do with that, so I'm not exactly sure. If you put a tag on a blog post, does that tag become searchable then?
Yeah, and like if you suggested that everyone name their blog post like Catholic Photo Challenge #2 or whatever, and have that same one as their title, then it would all come up in search results, and just SEO friendly.
All right. So yeah, it's stuff like that I'm not really always clear about, but yeah. Okay, let's all use the same title.
It would just be cool, I think, to have that across all these blogs with the same title. It would then bring everything back to you, which I think
Yeah.
would be really neat.
Okay, I'll suggest that next time.
Okay.
So Sarah, are you gonna start taking all just alcohol pictures, like no matter what the topic is? Because that would be kind of awesome.
I should do that, actually. That's genius. I'm sure I can go through and find something that I've taken a picture. Because I used to take a picture of all my drinks, but now I don't. Because
Why
I
don't
don't
you-
really drink anymore.
Take
So-
a picture of a stout, a chocolate stout.
I know, that's what I'll do. But I need to have like a light background on it or something.
Yeah.
So
I got-
what's this theme this time?
Who, me?
Yeah, Steve.
Well,
Hello.
I wasn't sure what you were talking about. We were talking about
No.
beer, and then
Is this thing
Photoshop.
on?
Photoshop.
the theme this week is Isaiah. What is it? Chapter 9. Okay. A people in darkness have seen a great light. So it's that whole movement from darkness
Dark and
to
light.
light. Yeah. So however you want to represent that in a photo, because it could mean different things to different people. What darkness and lightness mean in a particular context.
Can I use a Caravaggio?
What?
Can I use a Caravaggio?
That's no copyright. No.
Cheating.
What picture of me? Like taking one? A picture of it?
I don't even
It's in
know.
Rome.
Is a picture of a classic piece of art, is that copyright?
Probably not.
Actually, okay, so it's really stupid. So if you can go and take a picture of the picture, if the picture itself is in public domain and you take a picture of it and you put your picture in the public domain or whatever license you want to put it to make people be able to use it, then people can use your picture of the picture. But you can't use official pictures of pictures that are copyrighted by museums and stuff, because they want people to purchase their particular high quality photo of the picture.
But the crappy picture I took with my iPhone in December of a Caravaggio is fine.
You can use that.
Okay. Perfect. Done. Huh.
Okay.
So let me get this straight. You can take a picture of the picture of somebody taking a picture, but as long as you give credit to the picture taker, I'm honest. I'm sorry.
That's so anal.
Is it the conversion of Matthew? Is that the one?
I forget which one. I have a couple of them, so I have to pick which one I want.
Well, pretty much all Caravaggio's are light and dark.
Yes.
Yay. And you're still sitting there jumping up and down, and I have no idea why.
She's excited to be doing the picture challenge now.
Well, I have to order a whole nother bag of these jelly beans now because I just finished them during the show.
Oh
and
my
I totally
gosh.
forgot what they taste like, so now
You're
I have
such
to.
a lush.
Where did you order them from?
Well, I got them. We went to Six Flags theme park
Ooh, yeah.
on Saturday, I think. And yeah, they have the candy store there, and so we got some. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe if you go to like a specialty candy store, you can find them.
Probably.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, we seem to be really behind in the chat room today.
You know that when I lived in Germany, we went to Austria. We used to go to Austria quite a bit because it was just about an hour and a half, 2 hours away. And there's an Austrian rum called Stroh, S-T-R-O-H, and it's a really tasty sipping rum. It's a dark rum, and it has like a butterscotch aftertaste, and it's very powerful. It's like 90 proof. It's really ridiculous.
Woof.
And we found it's great in coffee. It's fantastic in coffee. And we found the little chocolate, like little chocolate malt balls kinds of things that were that had Stroh rum in them. And oh my gosh, I ate an entire bag of those things and I got drunk. And it was a bad drunk because it was a sweet drunk with the chocolate and the sugar, and it was milk chocolate. And I was like, and we're going up and down the mountains in Austria, and I'm like, pull over, John, quick, now.
And you can see the official police report in the smoking gun.
Okay, so another funny story with alcohol and candy.
We're still online, right? We're still live.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
This is okay.
I would like everyone
have
to
to do
know
with me.
that,
was
that
running
these are
naked
none
through
of
the
my
streets.
stories.
Hey, so listen. Before you start your story, I was looking up the Jelly Belly thing,
Yeah.
and there's a Jelly Belly flavor called Bean Boozled, and the description says peach or vomit, licorice or skunk spray. Bean Boozled dares you to try to compare great flavors with nasty ones. Are you brave enough to give them a try?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
Okay, now that you've ruined my appetite. So my grandmother is Mexican, okay? And she had these candies that she brought over from Mexico that have tequila inside of them. And they have this nice shiny wrapper, right? So my little sister is about 5 years old, and she sees candies. And she goes and starts eating them. And all of a sudden, she's acting like a maniac. And we're like, what's going on? And then we see all the wrappers.
Nothing better than a 5-year-old
She's
drunk.
had tequila.
Tequila, no less. That's even different than bourbon or anything else. At least for me, it is.
Oh my
That's funny.
gosh.
Our Dalmatian ate a whole bowl full of bourbon balls mix.
How did that go for you?
It was very, very bad. It was the worst next 24 hours ever. Like, the first 10 minutes of it was hilarious because the dog listed. He got drunk, but and then
It went through his system.
it went through his system. It's very
Speaking
bad.
of that, did you hear that the flight that was diverted from Los Angeles, going from Los Angeles to Philadelphia, they had to divert into Kansas City or Omaha?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Well, a large dog was on board, and that large dog had to use the restroom,
Oh
but
no.
didn't.
What?
Used the aisle
Oh.
several places, and it was making the passengers so sick that they actually
Oh my
had to.
gosh.
Yeah.
Horrible. It's like the worst plane flight.
That's one of those stories where it's a good thing that you're locked into the what do you call it now? Not a cockpit. What do you call it?
Cockpit.
Flight
Well,
deck.
I still call it a cockpit because that's what it is. But I say flight deck. The flight deck to me is what you land on top of an aircraft carrier.
Whatever.
So, yeah. So that story really stinks.
I want to tell you about an incident I had that was similar to that.
Okay, don't.
You pooped in the aisle.
Steve's
No,
like,
well, I'll just tell you
"That's
that.
not training."
I can't make it to the bathroom.
The lavatories are full.
Well, not that bad. Not that bad. No, so I was boarding a Southwest flight, where you can, back then you could sit in any seat you wanted. And so I saw a friend of mine, a lady that I work with, and she was carrying 2 infant boys with her. So I thought, oh, well, I'll sit next to her. And so she immediately handed one of them over to me, who, just as the plane took off, decided to barf all over me.
Oh.
So I had a 2-hour flight like that.
Oh my goodness.
Nice.
So
It's
gross.
one thing when it's your own kid, but if it's somebody else's,
Yeah.
ugh.
Hmm.
Nice. Well, thank you for that, Steve.
Yeah.
And on that note,
Yeah.
That note.
Well,
Vomit.
with your vomit on it. Alright.
Okay.
So I guess is this it?
real life.
Is it time to?
We've reached a new low.
You know,
At least
I don't.
this is not on the podcast. It's just on air.
I don't know what else to throw up.
This is terrible.
Is anybody still left in the chat room?
If they are, I'm very, very sorry.
This is worthy of Mac Barron.
You know what? That time that we tried to get Mac on the show, I don't know how long ago.
A couple
that was.
weeks
It was his
ago.
birthday,
Yeah, he
no?
talked
Birthday?
about it.
Yeah, they talked
on the
about it on their
podcast.
show, and I guess that was Catherine's phone that I left the message on. So
Yeah.
anyway, we'll have to have him on again sometime. All right. Well, I guess it's time to shut this thing down. I feel a lull.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the pool.
I think you're awesome.
I thought you were going to say the potty.
I'm
No,
gonna go throw up.
I'm gonna go swim some laps and get really sore again.
Have you seen those T-shirts that have the guy that says "Girls don't poop"? Okay, well, there we have the number 2 show.
Yeah.
Hey,
The
are
number 2
we?
show. That's what we should change it.
Before everybody leaves, are we going to do anything live from the Eucharistic Congress, or are we going to do a show on that day, or what?
Yeah, what are we doing next
What day
Saturday?
is that?
That's next week. No,
Wow.
2 weekends. 2 weekends. 2 weekends.
The week after next, the 20.
Yeah, the 21st.
Oh gosh, I wish I could come to that.
I'm gonna be.
There's
Pat-
room here with
Pat-
Spider-Man.
And I. Well, I don't know when Pat's
I'm
leaving.
enticing.
Pat Padley and I are going to be in Charlotte.
Oh, that's right.
Like
That day.
Press Association.
That day.
Yeah, that day. I'm going to probably try to record from my hotel room, and then after we're finished with the show, head back to Atlanta. I don't know when Patrick's flight's going to be back to Kansas City, but so I will not be at. Yeah, that's darn it. I didn't
Well,
even
why don't
realize.
you just do a remote Catholic weekend from there?
Yeah, I can do that. And then are one of you going to be at the Eucharistic Congress, and then I can somehow get you on the show via the Hangout?
I think Sarah and I are both going to be there.
Yeah, if you want us to go, then Maria and I can go and meet up, and it'll be a good time.
So what you'll have to do is you'll have to find a place, you'll have to somehow connect to the Wi-Fi.
I have a MiFi device that we can use.
Okay.
Oh, great. Well, I'll take my iPad. We can do the Hangout on.
Okay. That'd be fun.
Potentially speaking, if I could fly in Friday night, would anybody be able to take care of me?
I can go get you, dear, and then I told you, you can sleep with
Otis.
With Otis and Tanya.
In the doghouse.
Well, that's a big commitment. That's driving and all that kind of stuff.
Look, that's what friends are for. Cue the music.
I'd hang out with you too, Steve.
Yeah, I
Hey.
could be one of the cool kids then if Sarah's there.
Why
Oh,
don't we do
okay.
something-
Oh, you're rejecting me?
Why don't we meet up Saturday night? or something?
No, I'm not rejecting you.
Wait, hey Steve, if you come to town, Jeff, are you gonna be back on Saturday night? We
Yeah,
can
I'm going
have
to
some
drive
fun.
back as soon as I finish the show in Charlotte. I'm going to hit the road and come back.
Well, you want me to make a dinner for us?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Good Cuban dinner. roast pork and
Okay.
those the cactus stuff.
The cactus stuff. No, you got the wrong ethnicity there, honey.
Oh, what is
That's
it?
Nopales?
Mexican.
That's Nopales or Mexican?
So when I come to Atlanta in a couple weeks, are you going to cook for me?
Sarah will have to haul your butt out to my house.
Wait, that's not on the schedule, Pringle. Maybe Maria can come to brunch again though on Sunday when you guys are here.
Definitely. Absolutely.
Father Kyle is coming and Tom coming to town in 3 weeks. So
Fun days.
So that's the 14th is the Congress?
20.
No,
21st.
21st.
Oh, that's another bad weekend. Maybe.
Another bad weekend.
Look, I have
Well, speaking
Fridays
of
off.
another-
I have
another-
Fridays off, so I can go get you at the airport if you want. There's a room at the inn.
If you want to try to use it, I don't think you'll be able to, but you can. I can look at the numbers for you for a buddy pass.
See?
Well, let me see. We usually have direct flights to Atlanta from Tulsa. Let me see
Mhm.
what they're pricing out as.
Okay.
And, holy moly! It's $500 to fly to Atlanta.
Wow.
We're a destination city. Look, there's nothing to see here. I don't know why. It's a
Move on.
destination city.
Nothing to see here.
Us.
I started driving at 5 o'clock Friday night. I get in about 7 or 8 in the morning.
Right.
Sleep.
Take Friday off.
Potentially. Then I'd have to drive all day Sunday.
Oh well. You will have at least gone to the epic mass with the
Yeah.
30,000 people. Not quite Rome, but close.
Well, you can
Pringle's like, nope. Pringle's experience at the beatification was what? Sardine.
That's why I am so thankful to Father Roderick for letting me go to John Paul II's beatification, because we did not have to fight the crowds. We just walked right out the door into St. Peter's Square.
Oh.
Lucky.
I'll never ever have that opportunity again.
No, you won't.
Well, you just need to hang out with Lisa more often, because wasn't she like in a penthouse suite
Yeah.
overlooking the square?
Yeah. And she had a cab drop her off right.
Meanwhile, people were tripping over bodies like Sarah Bagulas' body in the street trying to sleep.
Lisa lives a charmed life. We should tag her in this episode. The post show. We're talking about you again, woman.
Well, I'm sure she's watching.
Oh, yes, right. You go on with that delusion.
Don't mess up all my delusions, please. Let's see, from Tulsa, TUL, to Atlanta. And what day is that? It would be the 20th?
Yeah, Friday the 20th, returning on the 22nd.
Just for grins, I'm sure it's going to be laughable, the seat availability. Dun, 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 dun.
Well, the danger with that is that you get stuck, right?
Yeah, you have to be very flexible. Right now, actually, Tulsa to Atlanta, actually there are seats available. I would suggest you'd have to go. Well, what time in the day would you have to go on Friday?
Well, I'd probably have to take that whole day off, so anytime.
Yeah.
Or even, I suppose, Thursday.
Well,
night.
the first flight is the only mainline Delta flight, and that's the kind of airplane that I fly, and it has like 26 seats on it, but it's a 6 o'clock departure, so it's early.
Yeah, that's all right.
And then returning on Sunday, the mainline flight is a 8:30 departure in the evening, getting in at 9:30, and that has 33 seats on it right now. So
It's like flying standby, right? If those fill
it
up,
is,
then you get
it
bumped.
is standby, yes. So that's the downside of it, is that you might not get on the airplane.
That's
Or
a
you
lot
might-
of seats.
Yeah, that is a lot.
Yeah, it is. And right now, of course, that's 2 weeks from now, so I could look at it in another week. Of course, by that time, the prices of the real airline tickets probably will have gone even higher.
Well, I mean, it already sounds like the flight is prohibitive because I can't imagine you want to drop $500 to come out here.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
In this case, it would be, under $100.
Well, I mean, it's worth a shot. I mean,
Yeah. So
if you want to wait and see what the seats look like.
yeah, I'll check it again next week and see how they look. Yeah, it'll work.
Goodbye.
All right. Thanks again, Tom, for coming on and sharing the great news of your
Thanks for having me.
pending ordination in, what, 6 years? Are you sending out invitations yet?
2019, 2020.
You got to think ahead, Save the date.
Jeff, you'll be on a walker by then, so you won't be able to go.
Oh.
That's not fair. I'll probably just be in one of those little scooter things.
The rascal.
Yeah.
Oh, he'll be able to use his little bicycle bell.
Yeah, where is that? I have to find it. Oh well.
Get out of the way.
His big wheel.
Yeah.
There we go.
And we didn't do this. I can't believe we made it through an entire show without.
I can.
All right. Well, it's time to shut this thing down. So thanks everybody for
Shut her down.
for coming out and having fun. Well. I
Oh
hope so.
well.
All right. Well, I'm going to say goodbye to everybody in the chat room if anybody's left in the chat room, and we're going to stop the broadcast. And here we go.